Hi Sam, it's so nice to see you back. It's been 2 weeks since our last session, so I want to know what's better has been for the two of you.
I mean, I feel like things are not that much better in our last couple weeks. Yeah. We got into a big fight.
She still
You
lets
want to
me.
tell him?
I was gonna say she still lets me have cereal once a week. She's cool.
Of course, you think that's cool. I feel like things that are not cool are when she goes off and drinks with her friends and doesn't tell me. And so we had a fight about that, and I feel like it didn't get anywhere. We didn't resolve it, and we've just kind of been back to like avoiding some of these issues.
I think like in spite of all the indifferences that you guys have, I think both of you are making a lot of progress. You know, in one way, you allow her to eat cereals on her own, which give you a little bit of freedom. I think that's a big progress that both of you guys are making. Then I want to get back to you. You said like things have not been better for the last 2 weeks, but I'm curious to know, like, is there anything, like a little bit of hope that you see in the last 2 sessions or for the last 2 weeks?
I think I had my hopes really high for some change and improvement. Specifically when we went to yoga on Saturday. We had kind of agreed in our last session that we were gonna have some mother-daughter time. And what happened was, you know, like even an hour before, she's like texting me, she's saying like, okay, I'm coming. And so we agreed that her friend was gonna drop her off at yoga. But when she showed up, Sam was all hungover.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, not really able to enjoy that time. She's gonna say that like, I went off the rails. But I had a lot of questions for her. But like we couldn't really quite get to, even because the class was starting, and then the whole time that we're like in yoga, the only thing I can think about is like, I don't know where she was, why didn't she tell me what was gonna happen, is she like even able to like, I don't know, just be present with me here, because she's like, it was really obvious that she was not feeling well and not doing well after being out all night with her friends.
But in spite of being hungover, I see like she came and fulfilled the promise.
No, because the promise was that she was gonna reduce her drinking.
Reduce her drinking.
And not use that as a way to connect to her dad, and she's using it to like connect with her friends. That's what she said, all of her friends were doing it, but like it's still something I'm concerned about. And it's
Water
something where,
drinking?
yeah.
I would like to ask this, like, what is the pattern of her drinking like after our 2 sessions? Has it increased or has it minimized? Well, how would you say?
I feel like I don't know, because maybe she's drinking and she doesn't tell me. The only times that I know is when I find out, you know, and this was something that came up that I found out. I guess it's only been the one time in the 2 weeks. I just can't say that that's like better, because it was not like an every week thing before. It's still just like every once in a while I'll know, and I don't know what she's doing in secret.
Sam, I want to know from your end about the yoga session. It's a homework that we discussed in our last session, that you guys would have a mother-daughter time, and I'm so glad that both you guys like did your homework. But your mother is not that much satisfied with you. But I'm so glad that you made it to the yoga session, you know, in spite of like being hungover. I know it's not easy to go to a yoga when you have hangover. It's very difficult, but in spite of that, you tried your best.
Well, thank you for recognizing that, because Mom didn't even recognize that. She was just so pissed at me that she couldn't even recognize that like it was so hard, but I like chose to do it anyway. did I want to be sleeping at 9 o'clock? Of course, but I went. So I appreciate you giving me like validation.
So how do you feel during your mother-daughter bonding time?
Well, I could tell that mom was like really stressed the entire yoga session, and so
Stressed.
yeah, I could just like see it. And so the point of yoga is to like reduce stress, and that's not how she felt, obviously. I mean, we went to the grocery store again, which was cool. And I feel like that's fine. We don't have to talk that much.
As we talk about this, Sam, I want to ask this question to you. As we talk about the yoga sessions where you recognize the stress in your mom, and even in this room, how are you seeing the stress in your mom? Can you see the same? Is it the same or is it different? The stress level in your mom?
Well, you've seen her stressed here. She gets very emphatic. But like, her mind just starts racing because I can see her eyes move like back and forth, back and forth. And she like breathes really deeply. It's like, Mom, chill. Also, she'll just communicate to me like, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed.
I want to ask you a question here. On a scale of like 1 to 10, how would you say the relationship with your mom has improved over the last 2 weeks? Like 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest.
Honestly, I feel like it's gotten worse.
It's gone worse.
Yeah.
So if you can number it like 1 to 10, which one would you give?
Probably like 7.
7. I think that's.
Mom, you're like falling apart.
Yeah.
I'm just confused.
Why are you confused?
That's a big improvement.
No. I'm saying 7 as like how bad it is.
Oh, how bad it is?
Yeah, like on the scale of like how stressed she is, like 7, 8.
7 is how bad it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Mom, would you agree though? You're stressed all the time.
Yeah, that's why I was confused because I thought you were saying things were good and I'm not. Doing great.
Would you agree with that scale?
Yeah, I feel like we were coming in here to like work on our trust and our communication, and like there's sometimes throughout the week where I can feel like it's getting better, and then things like this happen where I'm like, I feel justified in being this stressed and frustrated because you're making decisions that make me really worried for you. And not communicating with me and keeping secrets, and so I feel like those are the things that we've been trying to work on. And I mean, obviously I don't expect it to all go away right now, but I do need to know that I can trust you, and to give you more trust I need to see like still that like effort on your end. Like, even if you just told me that you were gonna go to a party or something, I think that would have made me feel better about our communication. If you were to tell me at 8 when you texted me that you're coming to yoga, just say, I'm not feeling great because we had a crazy night. Like, I can handle things better when you're not surprising me with them.
How would you say your Sam's communication with you? Has it improved?
I don't know.
Like during the last sessions, we discussed about like how she can text you, but
yeah, I feel like I'm having to wait for her response. But she does respond sometimes. Like there was a time that she was going home with a different friend. Someone else gave her a ride, and she communicated that to me. And so that was like a moment that I felt like that was really good, because sometimes I'll just like not hear from her for that long. So that was good.
Yeah. That's very positive. That's a very good step.
Would you say I'm texting you less?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how does that make you feel when she texts you less?
I don't know, probably like she listened to you.
She listened to
You.
me. Okay.
Yeah. So
I want to
good.
like know more about why do you think she listened to me instead of you?
She doesn't trust me.
She doesn't trust you. I think one thing that has been constantly coming up in the relationship, in the mother-daughter bonding, is trust issue, and I want to work more on that, and that's the goal that we have set. And I'm so happy that both of you are working on it, and at the same time you guys are doing the homeworks that have been like given for the trust building relationships, such as doing some fun time together, such as mother-daughter bonding things, such as yoga, and then going to grocery store. At the same time less text, but it doesn't show like the relationship is not there, but it builds the trust more. So based on that scale, I want to know like how good has the trust issue been resolved?
I don't remember the number I gave you last week, but I think it was like really low. I think I had like 2 or 3 trust in Sam, and I would say it's gone up like maybe 3 or 4. But then I feel like this week there was also like a breach of my trust. So
Breach of your trust.
yeah, I'm trying to give her more space to go and make good decisions, and then she goes off and makes a bad decision. So I mean, I think I would give it a 3.
At a 3. So it's still at 3.
And it's a
Last
little
week-
better than last week.
Last week it was 3, and you're saying like it's still 3, but it's better. So I want you to give me a good number.
No, I think it's a 3.
It's a 3. You told me like things have improved a bit, but
I feel like both things have gotten better and worse, so that's why I'm giving it the same number.
what about Sam?
Do you remember what I said last week?
Mm-hmm.
I think I said 2.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I think simply because she's texted me less. 3.
So I see that you have increased your trust in your mom, and I think that's a very big improvement. I want to know why you didn't give 1 or 2, or stay constant with the number 2.
With all due respect, like, why is this so important?
I'm sorry.
With all due respect, why is this so important?
With all due, I'm sorry.
It's okay. With all due respect, like, to you, like, why is this so important?
Why is this so important to me?
Yeah.
So that we can recognize like how is the trust between you and mom. I think like the main issue that we all are working towards, the goal that we said is to build trust more, to have a better relationship. And when I see that it's improving, when we see that it's improving the trust, I think the relationship is becoming better.
Mm.
I want to keep off the therapy sessions focus on the trust.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
What about Lynn? Like, I want to know, like, you said it's 3, and I want to know like why you didn't give 1 or 2. You said like some things did not go right last week.
Yeah, some things didn't go right, but some things went right. So like maybe if there were areas of trust, I feel like trust with like her making her breakfasts and the ways that we've like tried to go to the grocery store and like the ways that she's kind of taken over managing her breakfasts. I feel like that's been going good, and I want to give her credit for that. But then like the communication piece, or like the secrets keeping, or the decision making, like that's an area where I feel like I wouldn't say the trust has improved this week.
I'm really impressed by like how both of you are working towards the goal in spite of all the recent happening, in spite of the indifferences that both you guys have, but you guys have been working together very well. And in that I see like one thing that comes out, that stands out, is communication. Both of you really want to improve your communication, and that starts from trust. We have been working on trust, and now I want to like divert our attention more towards communication. So can you tell me, like, just imagine, I want to ask you a question. Imagine that after our session, the moment you leave this door, everything just works out fine for you, for both of you, and the relationship has become so good. So how would you imagine the communication to be?
I think if we had that trust, that I could, have texting go well between us, where she's responding if I ask her a question, but I don't have to ask her everywhere she is all the time. That like if there's a change of plans that I need to know, I know that she'll tell me in advance. If something's wrong, that she feels like she can call me and talk to me, and that I'll help her. But I think I want her to talk to me about things that are going on at school or with her friends or things like. I want to be there to support her. So I think that's the part where we don't have very good communication right now. But with the texting, it's okay.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on, like, did you agree with her, or like you want something different?
Yeah, I guess it makes sense with what Mom's saying.
So if both of you are agreeing, what should be the best thing that we should do, so that there is no lack of communication between you two?
It's just hard, cause like what's too much communication and like what's too little communication, and like every situation is like different. So there's no like, I think Mom wants like the algebra expression of like a plus b equals c, and like have it be precise, but it's like not that way. Like this weekend when I was drinking, like I was at Alyssa's house, and then I texted you at Alyssa's house because you asked me, and then at like 9-10 o'clock we decided to go to Claire's house, but she didn't text me, so I'm assuming you'd already gone to bed, and so I didn't feel like I needed to text her because she knows Claire's parents, so whatever. So I went to Claire's, and Claire was the one who like actually drove me to yoga the next morning because she has her license and I still have my permit. So I don't know, like I felt like that was fun.
Then what comes up for you when she explained her situation to you? Currently, like here.
I just think of like, what if in the middle of the night something had happened and I didn't know where my daughter was.
Come on, Mom, you know that I'm always gonna be fine.
That's not true. You're not always gonna be fine. I want to know what's happening with you. I want to know if were there boys there? Like, all of this stuff, like, it's not always safe.
Well, yeah, there are boys there. It doesn't mean it's not safe. Just because boys are there, some of my best friends are boys.
Yeah, so she's like gonna go out and have drinks, and I'm like worried about things like date rape, and this is not a concern
Oh
for
my
her.
gosh, Mom. They're guys from our high school. Date rape is not gonna happen.
I don't know that. I don't know
It's
who
not
these
gonna
people
happen.
are. There's
You know the
alcohol
guys.
involved. No, I don't. You've never introduced me to your.
Yeah, but you know who they are. You see them at track meets.
Yeah,
see
the
them at
one
football.
track meet I've ever been to.
I've also been in the same school district forever, so like you know the parents of these kids, and when like they're in elementary school and middle school.
There's new kids that come into school, and I don't know if they're gonna be trustworthy, and I
Do you see how she's overthinking all of this? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you know these kids. We go to a safe area, suburban school. Like,
that doesn't mean that
I
bad things
think-
are happening. One of them had offered you drugs. Like, I have all of these scenarios going in my head.
so what if one did?
Would you have taken it?
I could have or I could have not taken it.
Yeah, so that's why I'm concerned.
Yeah, but like marijuana's totally fine. I'm 16 now, but like in a couple of years it'd be fine for me to have it be legal.
Then I want to come back to you. In discussing all these things, I see like one thing that comes up is safety about your daughter.
Yeah.
So what does safety mean to you? Like especially in regarding to same situation.
Yeah, she's just young to be exposed to all of this.
She's young.
Yeah, she's 16. There is like a really scary world out there that I feel like she doesn't have any awareness of, and
Oh well. I think it's just so funny you say that. There's a whole world I don't know. I'm not aware of.
yeah.
Because I feel like I've been well cultured and well experienced.
So in all the safety situation, what is that one thing that really bothers you? When you think about Sam's safety, what is that one thing that really bothers you when she goes out with her friends?
When she goes to parties, when she's with people who could take advantage of her.
Could take advantage of her.
Yeah, I'm worried about things like rape and things like drug use.
Drug use.
I don't think these are things that it's crazy to be concerned about. You don't know that this might be common in our communities because we've always sheltered you from them.
Sheltered you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's take a quick break. I'll be back in like around 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you. Thank you for waiting. Yes. Before we took the quick break, we were discussing about like the party thing. I would like to ask a question out like, what do you imagine is happening in the party?
Yeah, I guess my imagination does maybe go wild, but there's worries about guys being there, my daughter being so intoxicated that she makes decisions that she either regrets later, someone harming her. Like when it gets to my most vivid imagination, it is like her in a situation where she needs help and there's no one there to help her.
Being helpless?
Yeah.
You mean to say, okay.
That's why I have friends, Mom.
Yeah, but I don't know that I trust your friends. So again, like that's part of my imagination is that your friends either aren't able to help you, they're all passed out, like someone else is maybe your friends turn on you, they make fun of you. Like these are my worries. That your friends are the ones offering you substances. Like,
But they care
to
about
be
me.
clear, your friends are underage drinking. So I don't trust them.
I think that's dumb.
I don't think that they're making good decisions, and I don't think that they're leading her into making good decisions, and sometimes I worry that they're gonna pressure her into making decisions that she wouldn't make for herself.
I want here, in this situation here, I want to focus on one thing.
Okay, I have more.
Okay, we can talk like about that later. Like, I want to focus on one thing here. Like when you describe all this imagination that you have about the party, I think one thing that stood out is the boys being harmed. So I want to know like what make you imagine that the boys would harm her?
Do you know the statistics? 1 in 4 girls is raped in their lifetime.
Oh my gosh.
A victim of sexual assault. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to be my daughter.
Constant worry and fear provide. Like she just provokes all this fear and worry.
It's based on reality, honey. Like this is what the world that we live in is like.
But anxiety is not necessarily always reality based.
With your TikTok therapy skills.
Oh my gosh. TikTok therapy skills, really?
I'm just saying, my anxiety is grounded in a reality that she's vulnerable.
She's vulnerable.
Well, let's ask him if he knows
But,
what.
Okay.
Like, isn't it so unreasonable of her to be worrying this much about me?
Yeah, what's your opinion as an adult and thinking about an underage person having alcohol?
That's not the opinion I was asking.
I'm just saying he's a great person. I would like to hear his
See
opinion.
how she twists my words too? Like,
I want to like ask that question to Sam. Like, what is reasonable to you? You used the word reasonable to me, so I want to know more. Like, what is reasonable to you? That's happening in the party. That makes sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to your mom.
well, like she said, how are your friends trustworthy? That's so dumb. My friends are the people I go
I'm sorry,
to.
can you come again? Your friends
Are not trustworthy.
Not trustworthy.
Is what she says,
Mhm.
which is not true. They're my friends, and to be a friend, I trust them. I trust them a whole lot more than I trust her. And so for her to say that if something bad were to happen and my friends wouldn't be there, that's like ludicrous. Like my friends would be there. They care about me. And so I think that's hard for me to hear that. Well, no, it is hard for me to hear that because I put so much into my friendships and you don't even know anything about my friends. And I'm actually kind of glad that you don't because I feel like you would just put stress on them. But like what I'm asking you though is like she is like putting all this like worry and stress onto me and like, oh, you're gonna get raped and like this is gonna happen to you. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm drinking, but at least I'm doing it at my friend's house. I could be out at a bar getting hammered, but no, like I'm at my friend's house. We're in our basement, and yeah, there are boys and girls there, but they're all from our high school. No one's some random 35-year-old coming in and gonna like rape me. Like, isn't that reasonable? Like, I don't understand why she's like freaking out about this. And other parents are cool with it. So I just think she's like worrying way too much. Sorry, I kind of like popped off, but like that's kind of how I feel.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah. When she shared about her safety, like being safe, not in the pub, but in like, not in the bar or somewhere, but she is safe in her friend's house. Does that seem reasonable to you, or what do you say?
What do you think? Because I do feel like my expectation, like my worries about her are reasonable. I don't like that she's going out and drinking with her friends. I don't like that she's 16 and doing it. I don't like the fact that like where are these other parents that you're talking about? You're not being supervised.
We're in Claire's parents' basement. They're the one who gave us the alcohol.
See, that's a questionable choice. Why are they giving alcohol to 16-year-olds?
Because they know that we're in the basement the entire night.
I just feel like I don't trust these parents to like adequately supervise them. Like, what if someone like leaves the house? I think that's why I'm just like, I don't even know that you're at the house. I'm concerned.
So,
Yeah. I'm concerned about you getting in trouble legally, which jeopardizes your future. You know, all that would have had to happen is like someone calls the police, some neighbor notices that there's too much noise, and suddenly you guys are all in handcuffs. Like, I don't want to get that call in the middle of the night. That's like where my mind goes, that they're gonna get in trouble, they're not gonna be able to go to college, like things like this really do happen. Because you're making choices that are like outside of what's legal, what's appropriate for you, what's gonna keep you safe. So that's where I'm coming from, and I feel like she's just making it seem like it's unreasonable, and you're also not sharing at all what you think is reasonable.
I think it's not in her position to discuss, to share about what is reasonable here. I would want to know, like, I want you guys.
So you're endorsing this?
No, I'm not endorsing it. I'm not endorsing it, I'm not supporting it, but at the same time, I want you guys to work on it together. I want you guys to work on it together. I want you, both of you, to know what is safety. I want you to reason it out, what is safety for both of you. So when you say like worried about her safety and you think like the other parents are not trustworthy, the other parents are like doing all these things, what do you think the other parents should have done, or what do you think is the responsible thing to do? Or what would be the ideal situation for you when she goes to her friends for a sleepover or like to have a fun time? What?
That there's not alcohol involved.
There's not alcohol.
That it's not being provided by the parents. I think, yeah, that is concerning to me because they're not at an age that they can be responsible with it.
From our discussion, like from our the discussion from the sessions of like this, it's been the third week now, and one thing that really stood in the way of safety is alcohol. It's always been about alcohol.
Like, what if one of your friends was drunk and driving you around? Like, these are the things that I'm also concerned about. Alcohol isn't.
So for these
always
weeks,
safe.
yeah, for this week's homework, I want to know like in what ways can you guys work together without the use of alcohol or without alcohol involved, or like lessen the usage of alcohol. Will you guys be able to do that?
I don't want to.
You don't want to?
Like, I don't even drink that much. It's just on weekends.
On weekends. What do you say, Sam? On weekends? On weekends, like last time you had mother-daughter bonding time where you go to CrossFit together and where you go to yoga together. I think that's a very good thing. I think you can continue practice on that.
Okay.
I'm happy to do it again. I just hope that this time she doesn't.
Or is there
feel
anything else that
rushed.
you guys want to do it together that I'm not aware of?
No, I think I do want that quality time, and I think we came up with a good idea, and I wish that it hadn't been interrupted by her choices the night before. Like, I came into it kind of expecting one thing, and it got thrown off. But I think if we were to try again, that it could be a good thing for both of us.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good thing. We have to end in a minute. I'm really impressed by how both of you are working, in spite of the indifferences and the issues and all these things. I'm really impressed by it, and both of you agreeing to do the homework together. And in these sessions today, we see like both of you are working really hard so that your communication becomes better. At the same time, your trust is also built, and I'm so impressed by how both of you are working together in spite of all the things that is happening, in spite of all the differences. And I can just see like how both of you are working, knowing that okay, maybe, but still I see that both of you are working very hard, and I'm so impressed by it. So I want you, both of you, to do the homework for the weekends, since like during the weekdays both of you are busy with school and with work. So I want you both to do the homework during the weekends, and we will discuss more about it in our next sessions. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.